Hello, my soil sisters and soil brothers. Today we're taking the garden into the kitchen, and I got my grandson here to help me out. So, what are we making today?
Pickles.
All right. So we brought some of the produce in from the garden. This is our cucumbers from the garden. This is our Chicago pickling cucumbers. We're gonna take the Chicago pickling cucumbers, and what I decided to do is, because I've already made some pickles. So these are sour pickles. I like a lot of garlic, so there's a lot of garlic and stuff in here. If that's not your thing, if you like sweet pickles, this may not be the recipe for you. But I'm gonna share the recipe that I used, but I'm gonna show you what I do to make my pickles because first of all, these are really good pickles, nice and crunchy. Now, when I made the first batch, I actually put them in a salt brine overnight. Okay, I'm not gonna do that with these, just for the sake of time. But they did come out really nice. They came out really crunchy. And one thing I learned this year was you cannot pickle you can pickle a sliced cucumber, but it's gonna make a mushy cucumber because it doesn't have the integrity to hold up. So get a nice, firm, crunchy cucumber from the beginning. So anyway, I decided to use my mandolin because I want to make slicing like pickle slices for sandwiches. So I made them kind of big, and they got a nice little ridge on. I don't know if you can see the ridge, but anyway, just go with me, okay? So they're sliced like this, and so what I'm gonna put in them, I had already made my brine. I use cider vinegar and salt. You'll see it in the recipe. And I'm also gonna put in my jar some mustard seeds. I'm gonna put in some black peppercorns. Now I usually use fresh dill. Couldn't find it. I guess everybody gardening, so they pickling too. So I'm gonna use some dill weed. And really and truly, I'm not measuring. I'm just sticking it in a jar. And some bay leaf. Now, what really gives it a punch is garlic. I like to have the garlicky flavor. This is something you could omit if you want to omit it, if that's the issue. And then I have some of my peppers. I have some habanero peppers, and I have some fish peppers. Fish peppers typically have the pungency of a jalapeno pepper, so it's like an okay heat. But these right here, pow! Okay, anyway, so what I'm gonna do is let me go and run and get my jars. I got my jars sitting in hot water and the rings in hot water, and I'll be right back. Disclaimer: I am a novice pickler. I don't always know what I'm doing. I'm just sharing what I know. Let me see. I gotta get one more thing. Be right back. Now I don't want all these comments about that ain't how you do it. That ain't how I do it. This is how I do it. Okay. So you're gonna follow me at your own risk. So I'm put some garlic cloves in the bottom. Not counting. They say 4 or 5. I'm just gonna sprinkle some on the bottom. This is the black peppercorns. I just put it in. I bought from the Mexican store, and they come in a bag, so I just put them in these little jars. Mustard seeds. Put a little mustard seeds in it. All right. Then I'm going to add my dill weed. And like I said, I prefer fresh. Couldn't find any fresh. I usually take about 2 fresh sprigs of dill. Tried to grow it this year. Wasn't successful. But honey, this is why they got this in the store. Okay. So I'll put some of this in here. Depends on how dilly you want it. Dilly, dilly, dilly. All right. So that's down in the jar. So now I'm going to put my pepper in it. I'm just going to stick 1 pepper down in it. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and put my cucumbers in a jar, and this is what I do. And this jar is still hot, so I'm using that towel, and I'm just gonna lie them on their sides and just layer them in the jar. And like I said, this is a recipe I found. I tweaked it a little bit because that's just my nature. I tweak by nature. I see something, if I don't like it, I change it, and I make it into what I want it to be. So this is my slice of cucumber. So I'm trying to stuff this jar, and let's see, I'm gonna get in as many as I can. And I am a pickle lover. I do pickle beans and I pickle okra, just whatever I can get. So now I got a little spot in the center, I'm gonna stick, and I'm not gonna cut it. I'm just gonna stick it down in the center, this right here. And I didn't put my bay leaves in. So I'm gonna get my bay leaves. Ugh. All right. This is raw footage. Okay, put some bay leaves in. So now I'm gonna fill my jar with the brine. My brine is over here. I'm gonna go spoon it in over here. And then after I do that, my ring, I'm gonna put my top and my ring on it, and then I'm gonna flip it upside down, and I'm gonna leave it like that until tomorrow, and then it'll pop, and it'll let me know the jar seal. Give me 1 second. So this is my brine that I had already prepared. I had prepared brine ahead of time, so that, you know, I don't have a big garden, so I don't have like masses of cucumbers at one time. So what I do is maybe over the course of 4 or 5 days, depending on how plentiful my cucumber production is, I'll save up the cucumbers, and then I'll come back with the brine that I'd already made. It's made out of water, salt, and cider vinegar, and then I warm it up and I spoon it over. Now, most people have those nice little canning funnels and stuff. I ain't got all that. Everybody don't have all that. So I'm gonna use what I got. I am not a professional. I am a novice, but I am a learner. I love to learn. I like to try different things. So this is what we're doing. And it has worked, and I have been doing this for a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years. I got a good recipe from a friend of mine, Amy. Amy gave me her recipe. This is not her recipe. So now I filled it up. You can see the top. You can see the liquid on the top, and you can see it all through the pickles. All right. So I am going to take my lid, put my lid on it, my ring, which is still hot, and I'm going to screw it on the top, screw it really tight, okay, and then I'm going to flip it upside down. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring it over to my pot of boiling water. I'm going to let it boil for 5 minutes upside down like this. This is just what I do. And then once I take it out, I'm going to leave it turned upside down, and I'm going to set it on the counter. Now, these are what I've done maybe about a week or so ago. So these are how it's coming out. Now this, your garlic is going to turn colors. Don't freak out. It's nothing wrong with it. It's very good. Actually, pickling garlic makes it a little bit milder, but it just gives a really good flavor. You can see all the stuff floating in it. These are already. So I have some that's 2 weeks old. And then, you know, I stick everything in it. So this is my sweet peppers. I stuck that in there with the garlic. And then I have another one. Put some carrots in it. I mean, whatever you want. It's your stuff. It's your pickling stuff. Do what you want to do. Don't try to follow no recipe or whatever. Just do it like that. Just follow the basics. That's the brine. That's the warming up of the container. That is the steaming of the lid closed. Do those things, but what you put in it, let that be your own thing. Put your own twist on it. And that's all I did. So that's my little demo of making pickles. I'll let you know how they come out. Leave a comment. Let me know if you have another recipe that you want to share. So thank you again, my soul sisters and my soul brothers. Thank you for coming in my kitchen, from me bringing all this stuff in the garden. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.